guys haven't ever watched any of my videos, my name's Jason Dalton, and I work at a gunsmith shop, sorry, and that's where we're at today. And you guys, if you don't know, I work on a lot of cheaper end firearms to make them better firearms. And what I'm going to go over today is I've already went over how to tune the magazines, which is the number one assailant of your feeding issues. So I'm not going to cover the magazine tune in this video because I already did it. It's number 8. If you go back into my profile, you'll find it. It's something that if you're an High-Point owner, or at least a C9 and the 380 model, you're going to want to watch. Especially even if you haven't had any feeding issues out of yours yet, because they are good OEM up until about 400 rounds. It's a good video to know for when you do start having some issues. Save it, put it in your favorites for just in case. But what I'm going to go over is how to actually polish the feed ramp and do a process that's called ramping the barrel, which is really important with these guns. And basically just kind of what I do to the insides of these guns. Real quick, I'm going to be doing more videos. I'm waiting for some mag pouches to be made. I got a guy. This is an inside the waistband holster for the High-Point. The guy, he can make them outside. He can make them left, right. One of the cool things, this is generation 1. I am going to work with him on a newer one. He does make it to where the safety is covered, so as you're carrying the firearm, there's no worries about it coming off safe if that's how you carry it. Personally, me, if I was to carry it, I don't know if I would actually carry it with safety on. But that's me. Don't go doing that because I said I do it. If you want to carry safety on, carry safety on. But I would like it to where it covered the safety, rather it was on or off. So I'm going to kind of work with him, see if our generation, if we can get a G2 made, and maybe just kind of make the whole, what they call a sweat guard up onto this. But this was kind of a prototype that he just kind of whizzed up really quick and gave it to me for free to try it out, to give feedback on it, and you know, so he can improve his product, which I'm going to be doing some videos on, some lightweight training videos, actually using the 3i holsters, and kind of doing a review on that. So that's a separate video, but be looking for it. So holster aside, gun is cleared, safe direction. I already took the thing out. So, get this thing apart. We're going to need a couple set of punches, and obviously your hammer. If you don't have one of these, I can't think of even the right name for it. If you don't have one of these, you can make them. This is just a piece of wood, soft pine, that I've just put a couple holes in. It works just as well. Or ain't nothing like an old roll of tape works. But I'm going to use my bench block. That's the name of it, bench block. And I'm going to get this pinned. All of this is this isn't the High-Point that you guys usually see me mess with. I actually got this. This is another one. So now I got 2. This is one I bought used. This it only had like a box of 50 put through it. Which, by the way, on that subject, real quick, I talked about it in another video. I just was on another High-Point Facebook fan page called High-Point Armory, and you know, I got brought into that page by a buddy of mine that has a YouTube page, and he brought me in through Facebook to help people out. And like I got in there, and I started addressing some of the mag issues and stuff, and the main admin person in there, they just didn't want to hear it. They want to pretend like the High Points are these great firearms, and there's something spectacular, and unicorns and rainbows, and I basically was saying, they're good money, or a good gun for the money, but they're also not the best gun for the money. Okay, you got the Jimenez JA9 that I'm going to be doing a set down side by side comparison, so look for that video too, between this gun and the 9mm Jimenez, and hands down, by far, way more superior firearm than this is. And best part about it, no mods required. You can basically just open it up. Don't even really have to put any CLP in it. You can if you want. Take it right out of the box, start freaking just blowing hundreds of rounds through it, and not an issue. They're good for a couple hundred rounds, and the max get weak. But they didn't basically they didn't want to hear it, and started making comments as far as people just need to start PMing me or start hitting me up on my YouTube page, and that's mainly why I don't do the fan pages, is because I'm not going to sit and talk like this is the best firearm out there, okay? Because it's not, and you got guys in there that's trying to make fun of Glocks, and they're trying to make fun of other guns, and it's like, I mean, really, dude? Really? I mean, you got a High Point and you're trying to make fun of a Glock. I mean, you don't really have a leg to stand on. And that's just my opinion, and I base my opinions on real life. You know what I mean? Real life. I don't base my opinions on because I like this gun so freaking much and this is all I can afford, so therefore it's the best gun in the world. It's not, okay? I have other firearms. I don't leave the house without my Glock 26. I got it on me right now. Okay? So you want to compare apples to oranges. This is a lot lighter. I got 10+1 in it. And you know what? It works every time. No mods required. Okay? So, yeah, I left. But what was the shitty part was a couple of the guys that was actually agreeing with me on my side, saying, they like them, but yeah, he's kind of right. There are some issues that we need to address, and High Point ain't ever going to fix them. He ended up banning them, all because they wanted, exercise their First Amendment, freedom of speech and stuff. So, anyway, so got the pin out, the dry fire. I'll get this off here. Slide. I'll touch on that. I'm going to mainly work on the barrel right now, since I see so many people doing that wrong. They try to do all the feed ramp work while the barrel's still in the gun. I'm actually going to do it the professional way. Take your grip off if you want. Put your screw back in there. It's just a good habit. Pull your safety out. Mag button off. You got your spring for your slide catch. Pull it off. You flip it over to the right side of the gun. Get this screw out. Get this grip out. Same thing. Leave the screw in there. It's just a good habit when you take things apart, especially if you're new at doing this, to kind of put them in the order, kind of how it lives in the gun, should I say. Your mag catch and spring out, and then here, this is your sear up here. You want to hold some tension down on that, and then pull your cam arm off. If you just pull your cam arm off, this is spring tension. It could go flying, and then you have to chase it down. And then pull your sear. Spring usually comes out with it. And I'm also not going to cover, I got a video number 7 that talks about trigger. You can improve your trigger. You can go back and watch that. Okay, after I pull this little job out, your counterweight comes out along with your sear block, I think is the right name for this. God damn it, come on. Your sear block and spring will come out. And the reason why you want to get all this out first before you start trying to get your barrel out is because if you don't, the shit will go. Trust me, it will. Just like when you go to put your barrel back in, I don't know how many times I've made the mistake of putting all the guts back in it, and then I still haven't put my barrel in. And when you start beating on this barrel, things will fly. So, you got right here your slide catch. It goes through and there's a big pin and then there's a small pin, so we gotta get those out. Okay, big pin, alright, it's not gonna come out easy, so you're gonna have to get into it, especially if it's the first time this thing's come out. Okay, there we go. Once you've had it out a couple times, it comes out fairly easy, but for the first time it's not gonna be easy. And now we got this little pin right here. What I use is a sharp pointed punch to get it started, just because I found that okay, get it started, and then I'm going to follow up with a smaller punch. Alright, now the barrel will just rock its way out. Okay, and then at this point you can pull the trigger out too, just by pushing this little pin through, but you don't really have to. At this point, you can wipe it all down. Hell, at this point you could even spray it down with degreaser and go rinse it off in a sink. It's just plastic, especially once you get the trigger out of there. It's just plastic, so you're not going to have to worry. Immediately wipe it down, spray it down with WD-40 if it makes you feel better, or Remy oil. But that's your frame. So I'm going to put this off over here for now. Get my tools out of the way. And invest in tools. If you're going to do things, do it right. It makes the job so much easier. So those are just basic hand tools. Now your specialty tools are going to come in, which is your Dremel setup. Now, I got a big one, but you can get one of the battery pack ones. They work just as fine. It's just, for me, I can't afford to run out of battery. It costs me money, so. Excuse me. Alright. I might have to try to hold the camera here and show you what I'm going to be attacking. What I'm going to, excuse me, what I'm going to be attacking. Okay. Here's your feed ramp. Okay, so the bullet goes up in here, and everybody just polishes this. In all honesty, you probably don't really have to. I ran them without it, but right here, okay, you got your chamber. That's a smooth, horizontal chambering hole, and then it drops down to whatever angle this feed ramp is. Right here, in between your chamber inside and your feed ramp outside, right here, there's usually some kind of a, they try, but they don't do it real well, and a lot of guns are guilty for this. This is when you remove this. It's called ramping the barrel. You're making the transition from here to here smooth. Okay, and then up inside here gets neglected too. So, now that you know what I'm talking about, when I start talking about it, you know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. So, what I like to do, I got a round, it's a fine grinder, Okay, I'm going to start out with that, and that's what I'm going to hit is the ramp, the part that I call ramping the barrel. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use a little Remy oil, kind of act like a wet, like how when you wet sand something, and I'm just going to get it kind of soaked up into this. Put a little bit in the area I'm going to be working. Okay, you don't need it going fast, and you just let the cutter do the thing. Okay. And here's what I do. I use my pinky, and I just basically just rock. You want to kind of keep the chatter as less as possible on it. Now I'm also going to go around the whole thing. So I'm going to have the barrel upside down. Okay, that's good enough. What I did, I worked on the part that I call ramping the barrel, which is right here. And then what I did was I just went around the whole edge and just kind of took the sharp edge off of there. And then also, same thing on the hood. It's called the hood lid right here, because you can get what's called a 3-point jam. When this comes up, okay, if you got a sharp edge there, and this bullet tries to come up, you can actually get hung like this. And that's called a 3-point jam. Or sometimes they'll be even further in, and basically where you got to tap the back of the slide to push it in. Most people call it a failed going battery, which can be because of a weak recoil spring. These high points, after about 1,000 rounds, replace your recoil spring. So that's what I'm going to be looking at here at first, okay? Where I ramped that barrel, and then also just kind of got in there and cleaned up around the whole thing. Here, that's a better picture. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to transition over, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the actual feed ramp and the hood lid too. But what I'm going to be using is, I got a sander here. Okay, it's a fine one. I don't remember what grit it is. It's whatever comes in the Dremels, 120 or something. It's the fine one. Okay, and then I do the same thing. I'm going to put a little oil on it. This helps save your sander too. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, this is actually, I found the perfect size for the feed ramp to get that perfect shape of a feed ramp going in. I'm going to work on the feed ramp itself, removing the paint, and then I'm also going to go in and smooth the transition going from the feed ramp into the chamber, and then I'm going to basically just run it back and forth on the top here to help smooth some of them grind marks out. now that I got the majority of the paint removed, I'm going to just work my way up to center and go up the ramp into the barrel. And stuff's sticking in my... Okay. Thought I had a blue rag somewhere, but... Okay, so this is what we're going to be looking at. Okay. Got a nice transition off the feed ramp, heading into the chamber, no sharp edge. And then you also got worked up here on the top. Now, this isn't something that needs to be done. So, if it's beyond your ability, just don't worry about it, okay? But if after you do the feed, after you do the magazine, and you still want to keep messing around with your gun, this is how you do it properly. When you get your Dremel, you're going to get this polishing compound, number 421. It's basically, it's like a cutting compound. What I do is I take a bullet. It's shaped like a bullet. It's cone shape. Okay, this is a pretty hard pad here. And a little trick for the ones that screw on: use a little super glue on it, and it'll stay on there on your pads. A little super glue, screw it on there, sticks. Remove any shavings that you created, and move that. And then here's what we're going to do. Just going to get some of this stuff on here, work it in to the pad, rub it in there. Alright, now this is going to get loud because I got to crank up the speed on this. Okay, so mixing with your next step. and I even went into the chamber a little bit. And the whole time you're basically just using the speed off of your Dremel and just letting everything do its job. Okay? You're not forcing anything. The whole time, even with the sanders and the grinders, I just let them do what they were supposed to do. You just kind of get a feel for the right RPMs. Okay, this is what we're going to be looking at. It's smooth, but it's dull. What this did was, it's a stair-step process. You notice I started out with the rock, removed what I needed to remove, then I came back with the sander, and that smoothed some of those grinds out. And then I came back with the cutting compound and the pad, and those smoothed that out. So now what I have is, it's smooth now. There's no more like swirl marks in it. If there is, it's just ever so much. And now what I'm going to do, I forgot to grab it, hang on. Still got 2 more processes. Get some. Okay, I've used turtle wax chrome polisher. I've used Mother's aluminum mag wheels. This is $7. Yeah, it costs a little bit, but man, you get a lot of it. And I'm telling you, this where you could take this stuff, put it on a freaking Q-tip, and rub, and it's gonna come out shiny. So this makes so much easier. Get some of this. Plus, if you're trying to do all this stuff and you're trying to gunsmith, do it right. This is any good gunsmith. This isn't. I'm telling you, they got this in their box. Okay, so get some of it. It's called Flitz. Okay, so change out my pad here, and you want pads dedicated to different compounds. Okay, this one here is kind of wore out, but I got one here that's I actually need to start changing over and getting it. Grab another one. Okay. And it only takes a little bit of this stuff. So if you're worried about price, just get a little bit on your pad there. Plus, once your pad gets soaked with it, you use a little less and less each time. And then we'll put a little bit of the rest here on the actual feed ramp. And then this is done. That's all I'm going to need. Wait till you see. And I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible for film. Obviously, you know, I'll probably after the film go back through and you know, do minor little details to it, and I'm sure you'll do the same thing. But this is just kind of to give you the gist of the process. I mean, it's so much easier doing it than it is trying doing it with it in the fucking thing, in the frame. You get a bunch of crap down built up behind your trigger and all that. It's just so much easier to have it in your hand. But that's it so far. Okay, now I'm going to take a dry. So I'm trying to get this one, trying to get the ramp as clean as possible so it don't dirty up my clean finishing pad here. and it's just, like I said, it's just a dry pad. There's nothing on it. Now the speed's going to get really loud. Now look at it. I can't tell what you're seeing, so. Yeah, it's a smooth transition all the way up in there. And then I even polished into the chamber some. Okay, and then that's like I said, I can spend all day doing this. Okay, polishing it out, making it super shiny. But here's the thing, that's pot metal, it's basically aluminum. So a month from now, it's going to be back to being kind of dull and dinchy again. Basically, you're just trying to smooth things out. Now, what I'm going to do after I get this completely degreased, rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to frog lube it. And what that frog lube is going to do is it's going to get into the pores of that raw metal. And it's going to actually, once it's into the chamber, I'm going to frog lube the inside and outside. And what's going to do to that raw metal, it's going to get in there. And it makes cleanup so much easier. Almost not where you don't have to clean it, but pretty damn close. Basically, you just dry clean after that. Push the dry patch through the barrel, wipe it down with a dry patch or paper towel, or done. Take a brush, brush it out, reapply frog lube, and you keep repeating that process over and over. Just keep firing it with the frog lube in there, and it just gets better and better and better and better. So, I'm going to put the barrel off to the side with your slide here. Areas you're going to want to focus on. Okay, when you're looking at your slide here, down inside here is where your firing pin runs. What I have here is a half round file. You're going to want to get this in there. Okay, and get this damn thing to stand up. You're going to want to get that in there and just run back and forth, removing any sharp edges. Also taking the round part of the file on here and removing any sharp edges on the outside, on the inside, through this channel, and then right here in front. Right here, this sharp edge, you're going to want to round this whole thing off. Just round it, not really removing like chunks of metal, just rounding it off. Okay, and then that's going to help because your round slides up through here and then pops down, or actually up behind your extractor. Now the extractors on these are already tuned. The extractor's already tuned with the right angle for the round to actually pop up underneath them really good. But your breech face here, if you pop your extractor out, you can do the same thing, kind of sand it and polish it really good, kind of same process that I did there. and just polish it really good. And then another gunsmith trick is, I can't find my big one. Once you have your extractor out, if you just take a drill bit or something like a Phillips head screwdriver, pocket knife, anything, okay, and then your firing pin hole here that pops out, just with your fingers, I don't have it, but anyway, I got a big one around here somewhere that I just put on that firing pin hole, and I just turn it with my fingers. And what that does is it deburrs that edge, that sharp hole. And what that's going to do is that's going to prevent any snags from that round slides up underneath there. And then that's it. I'm going to stop the video. I'm not going to put the gun back together. It came apart the same way that it went together. Plus, I'm sure there's videos out there that does that, but I kind of wanted to basically cover the right way to do the barrel, and then kind of give you some pointers here on your slide. And basically, you just want to smooth everything out. You don't really want to remove a lot of material. You just want to smooth it out. And then plus, the more rounds you fire through it, it's gonna do it too. So that's it, man. I hope this might have helped. I'm going to be doing some videos, like I said, with the holsters, and actually doing some kind of training. I'm not going to get too deep into the training. I'm just going to kind of go over basics because I don't want to be liable for anybody on that. And then I'm going to be doing a side-by-side comparison to the High Point and Jimenez. So I appreciate you guys that subscribed to my page. It keeps me going, and then also the positive feedback on people that's actually had problems, and I'm able to help them. It keeps me going too. I've been frustrated in the past, and I've actually deleted my videos because of what I deal with a lot of High Point guys and their denial. It kind of makes me wonder, like, well, what am I really doing this for if you got 5,000 rounds 2 years and you never had a problem? If you're never going to own it, But then I have guys come through that are in real deep trouble, and it's the only gun they got, and it ain't working, And then I'm able to help them out, and that gives me a sense of accomplishment, that I actually, what I'm teaching the people to do with their guns actually could possibly save their life. That's what keeps me going. So thanks for everybody that showed me support and sharing my videos and keeping me going, man. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't even waste my freaking time. So it's all for you guys. I clearly can't help the company. They don't want no help. They're arrogant in their way, and people are gonna buy them anyway, so they don't really give a shit. They don't care about you. Yeah, they got a great customer service, but they almost have to. If they're not going to fix the problem, and the guns are coming in all the time, they almost have to take care of you. I mean, think about it. So, if they fixed it, they'd have less guns coming in. They wouldn't need, like with Glock and Smith & Wesson, very seldom do you really need to even use their warranty. You don't. Oh. Think about that. Okay? So, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please share. Please definitely hit the like button. Thanks for watching.